Hello, my friends. Amy with Campbell Creations, and today I am using Bargain Bead Box December 2025 Time Traveler Collection, and we're going to make a 3-strand, triple strand necklace and a pair of earrings. I'm excited about it. So, what we're going to be using from the box today is, of course, these gorgeous porcelain beads. Love them, love them. So we're going to be pulling those in. We are going to be pulling in the hematite, the, I guess, orange coral beads, right? We're going to be pulling in the chain that came in the box and some of those little charms. So here what I've done with these charms is I put a couple crypt tubes on the jump ring that's going to be making that connection. Okay, so that's what that looks like. Pearls, definitely pulling in those pearls, and it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be fun. I'm pulling in that clasp as well, and you see that I've got a lot going on the mat because we're going to be playing. We're going to be playing and we're going to be having fun today. And these pretties up here, before we get started on anything else, I'm going to finish these out. So what this is these little filigree chandeliers I had gotten from Amazon some time ago, so I'll try to find those and link those below. But these beauties that's sitting on top, I had years ago whenever my primary way of getting beads was taking apart jewelry that I would get, right? So I would go to the thrift stores and stuff, and I would take apart jewelry, take apart things, and take the beads and use them. And that's where my start was. Well, these, as well as there was some that was kind of an off-white color, they were on a big brooch. It was a big brooch, and it was just a horrid looking brooch, but I was like, oh, all these things that's on that, I could utilize those. And so I popped these off, okay, and so I decided to use those because it looks so good. It just matches so well, and I'm just loving it. And so all I've done is I took some E6000 and I glued these on, glued them right onto the center of this, and we're not done with them. So actually, let me put this aside. Let's go ahead and finish those out so that they can set and dry, okay, because I'm wanting to pop something right in the center, just right in the center there. And that's going to be our connection for those 3 strands. So let's pull out good old E6000, and for this, what I think I'm wanting to do, and I'm trying to decide actually, should I pull in these? So these that I'm pulling in extra, this is green garnet. I got this green garnet from my friend Laura Miller. It came in one of my days for my advent calendar, and I love it. Pulling in here, I got these from beadboxbargains.com. They are 4mm Arusha green sunstone that are finely faceted, so I'm going to pull some of those in. I have some little crystals, so I have some little 3mm crystals, and then I have some 2mm crystals, and then some of them, look at these, they are so very close to what came in the box. Look at that. And so that's what inspired me to kind of do what I'm going to be doing today and utilize the process that I'm going to be utilizing today, because I just thought it was so cool that I had some that was like the same colorway. And you know, I'm making all these different pieces because I want them to kind of work together, be able to stack, be able to do these. And actually right after this tutorial, I'm doing another one with another necklace that's going to go along with all of this. So anyways. So I was trying to decide for the center if I wanted to pull in a pop of green or if I just wanted something a little crystal-y. And so, I think I want to pop in some green. That would be cool. If it had just like that green center, right? Just a little something there in the center. That would look kind of pretty. Or if I popped in, I guess if I did one of these, it would really just blend in. I could pop on one of these. It would kind of pull in those different shades of the coral. That isn't too bad. And actually that way we could even do multiple of those around there, right? And put some green with those. What if I did one of the crystals that I brought in? It was kind of to bring out some of the colors of this Arusha green sunstone, is just some of that. It's almost like a little champagne with a touch of AB. Oh, I like that. I like that. Look at that. Let's do that. Let's pop those on there. We'll pop those in the center, and then we'll let those dry while we make up the necklace, and then they'll be ready by the time we're needing to utilize these chandelier links. Let's do it. Let's do it. So with my E6000, I'm going to come in here, and when I'm doing something intricate like this, I typically get a piece of wire, and I just come down in here and grab me just a little bit. I'll just pop that down in the center. I could have gotten a little more than that. Oh, well, hello. Yeah, let's just pop that down in the center. Hold on to that. And pop one of these greens right in there. That'll be cute. Like it. Like it, like it. Oh, I didn't want to do green. Oh, Amy. You guys, why didn't you stop me? All right, let me set that aside. Let's get some more. Why do I have the green still out? Come on. More there in the center. See how quick it hardens? It doesn't take long. There we go. Now let's grab this other one. And you see how it just bubbles out? That's why I try to be quick. And I end up grabbing the wrong color crystal. Silly goose. Okay. Okay. Now I'm just putting that on a paper towel. Pop that little crystal in there. Nice. Let's do that. So, just wiping off some of that excess. Make sure you recap it. And we'll set these aside. So we have some little crystals that's going to pop in there. Those will definitely be nice and ready by the time I need to use those. So what we're going to be doing with this triple strand is the first strand, the bottom strand, I'm going to be using Soft Flex Satin Silver color in Fine. Okay, also for the shortest one, I'm going to be using this. And the reason why I'm wanting to do Fine specifically is because we are going to do a double to single strand. And so I had a thought, and I think it is going to be beautiful. And I had a couple friends I asked, and they agreed. So that's what's going to happen today. Now, to ensure that I have enough room to close these off, because I'm terrible about that, I'm going to go ahead and pop that on there a little ways down. Okay, and we're going to work from one side, and we'll just go all the way through. And so what I'm looking for in this double to single strand is kind of a variation. I want those pops of orange to come through. I want the pops of white with the pearl to come through. And I also want some pops of this light rose gold or Casey gold kind of color. I'm going to be mixing those up with that antique bronze. And I think it's going to be absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. So the way I'm going to start it out is, let's bring down some of these and some of these and these, and then of course our pearls. Okay, so just in case I want to add a little bit to here, in case I want to change up what's going to end up being the center, I'm going to make sure that I have enough kind of sticking out this side. And so let's start with one of these little crimps. So this is going to be our little pops that is going throughout this entire strand, and it's going to be so much fun. So I'm going to start out with the number 1 crimp tube. I get these from beadboxbargains.com, that light rose gold color, and I love them. Love them so much. I'm going to separate these strands now. And on the top strand, I'm going to do one of these green garnet. And these are just extraordinary beads. And I thought they went really well with the green 6mm that came in the box, right? And so I was like, oh, it'll just kind of tie in together. So I'm going to put crimp tube in the middle. Then I'm going to come in here with this green sunstone. There it goes. And that's what I'm going to have on this top strand, okay? And those little pops are just oh so good. On the strand that's below it, the only thing I want on it is the pop that we're going to be coming in with, and that is this coral orange, right? So it's going to look like that, and I think it's beautiful, beautiful. And having that crimp tube in between those top 2 beads is what's going to allow this to kind of nestle in and settle in there. I'm going to end that with another crimp tube that's on both of those strands. Okay, then we're going to come in with one of our porcelain beads, and I'm wanting to double bead cap this. Okay, so with that double bead cap, I'm going to be bringing in a 3mm of the antique bronze with this Casey gold color, and this I got from Beadbox Bargains. I used it in the other necklace that we had made for this collection, and I think it's going to look really cool with that double bead cap scenario. Pop on that 3mm on both of those strands. Then we'll do our Casey gold, and then with our bead, see how much room there is in there? You can either do this now, right? Put this on and then we'll stuff it, or you can wait to put it on and first stuff it. What I'm going to be using is, I get these from beadboxbargains.com. A lot of times the crimp tubes that I get from Beadbox Bargains or any other website, okay, is utilized for spacers or for filling things. And so that's what I'm going to use those for. I think I'm going to put 3 in there. I'm pretty sure 4 will fit, but I'm going to do 3. So I'm going to pop on 3 of these number 2 crimp tubes. And again, you can put your porcelain bead on there first and then put these on. Either way is going to work, right? But this is what we're looking at. I'm going to pop on my bead. What it's going to do is it's going to fill that up. You see there's still a little bit more room. I could put 4 in there, and you can put 4 in there. I'm just going to do 3 and it'll be okay. So we'll bead cap that other side. I've been wanting to record this all weekend, but I'll tell you more in just a little bit. Something had came up and it ended up working out really nicely this weekend, and time had to be utilized for that, and very thankful for it, even though I really wanted to get these tutorials out during the weekend. Look at that little pop. That's so cool. On the other side, we're going to do the same thing, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and put a number 1 crimp on both of our strands. Okay, I'm going to separate those strands. Now, whether they stay where the coral orange is on the same side or not, I don't care. I don't care. If something ends up changing with this strand and on the next one this ends up at top, doesn't matter to me. Doesn't matter to me. I think it's going to be really cool either way. So let's put on one of our little sunstone, little crimp tube, and a green garnet. And for this, you can also use seed beads. That would work out just fine. Just choose your colors, pick them out. See what you're looking for. Let's pop on our little coral orange bead. Super cute. Okay, on the end of that, I'm going to put another #1 crimp tube on both strands. Okay, from here I want to bring in that hematite. And with the hematite, I'm wanting to bead cap the hematite because I think it's going to pull in that combo of like that Casey gold and antique bronze, or light rose gold and antique bronze coloring. I think it's going to look really cool. So I have some 4mm bead caps in that Casey gold, and I'm going to bead cap that hematite. So we're going to go on both strands with this. We'll get one on that other side. Look at that. It's okay to bead cap your spacers. It is just fine. Okay, from there we're gonna pop in our pearls. Okay, and with these pearls, I really want them to stand out. And I thought that this really helped them stand out. So I'm putting on a little crimp, our pearl, and then another crimp on the other side. And it's going to be the same thing on both of these strands, on this strand and on this strand. But the way they end up falling is kind of offset. And it's fun. It's just fun. Totally lost that crimp tube. Flicked it all the way across. Okay. See how that works out? Now, we're going to pop on another one of our hematite. And you notice I'm not putting a spacer on both of the strands like I did over here. Okay, that's because one of these is going to be popped up against here. The other one's going to be popped up against the other side already. So we don't need that. It's already going to have that pop. Okay, so 4mm bead cap, our hematite. And a 4mm bead cap. And I'll link these bead caps down below. I get them from Amazon. And so, see, whenever you cinch this kind of down, this is what we're looking at. Love it. Love it, love it. Okay, from here, on the other side of this, we are going to put crimp tube on both of those strands. Then we're going to go right back into this series, and that's what this whole thing is going to be. Okay, it's going to be this little series and this little series over and over, and it's going to be gorgeous. Gorgeous. So I already have one here. So let's separate these. Let's pop on one of our little green sunstone. Where you at, little hole? There you go. So we're doing one of those, little crimp, and a green garnet. On the underside, we'll pop on one of these. Okay, now what you're also going to probably notice is I will start with sunstone or the green garnet on each side. Doesn't matter to me. Does not matter to me which one's closer to it at all. I'm just wanting that offset. Okay, so I'm going to do #1 crimp. I actually made up two little sections, one of them where they were, the same, and another one where they weren't. And I realized that it does not matter to me if the orange is on the top or the bottom. It does not matter to me if these are in a specific kind of order. I have glue on my fingernail because it just looks cool. Very organic, very cool. This is what we're looking at. It's going to be very elegant, I think. And then our chain on the second strand, because that's what we're going to have for the second strand is chain. That chain's going to help pull in a little bit of rustic with that elegance. And the combination of all of it, I think, is going to be just on point. At least for what I'm looking for. Okay, so I'm going to put a few of these number 2 crimps on. I do think, though, this double bead cap is really making a big difference in this whole design. It's pulling in from this hematite. It's allowing that hematite to shine more than it would otherwise, mixed in with all of these beautiful beads. It's given a little more rustic look to this elegant, beautiful little bead and bead cap, and I think it's just perfect. I really, really do. So let's do a little crimp on both of those strands at the other side. Separate them. Let's pop on one of our green garnet. Little number 1 crimp. Our sunstone. Then on the other one, our orange coral. See, on that one it wanted to pop right up the top, and that's just fine. So I was curious about, how particular I had to be with making sure my strands didn't cross as I was doing this process. And that's why I wanted to test that. Like, do I need to be critical of my strands staying side by side? And if you are wanting them to all be super symmetrical and all being the same, you're going to want to make sure of that. Okay? But the end result for me is I liked it both ways. And so I was like, instead of then being super critical, if I like it both ways, I'm rolling with that, rolling with the easier part of it, and that is just letting it do what it wants to do. And so that's what I'm doing. Okay, so we're just going to pop in another hematite. I still have glue on my finger. If I wouldn't have been silly and put green on there. Okay, so we'll come in here with our hematite. Bead cap. Separate these out. Number 1 crimp. Beautiful little pearl. Number 1 crimp. Crimp. Pearl. Crimp. And then I want you to see why I didn't go further with that, like why I didn't expand on that, why I didn't add another series. And it's because the combination of this, just the way it is spot on. You know, not too much of this coral orange, not too much of the white, not too much of the antique bronze, not too much of the pops of the rose gold and Casey gold. I think the offset and the way it runs and flows is just perfect. Just perfect. And there will be no actual focal for this. It is just a gorgeous, glorious strand that's at the base of these 3 layers. So this weekend, I ended up taking off Friday and today, Monday. It's Monday morning right now, so that I could just get some other stuff done, and also so I didn't lose my time, you know. And so I had all these plans to do all of these tutorials, and, you know, super awesome, super excited, great, right? Well, we thought, let's go ahead, we'll you know, get the downstairs a little more ready for the bead room that is going to be built. And so we needed to get some workout equipment out of the way. And so we thought, well, we'll go ahead and get that workout equipment on the marketplace. And so I went ahead, put that workout equipment on the marketplace, and what happened was insanity. Like, people essentially climbing all over each other for this workout equipment. And the workout equipment that's here at this house is nothing compared to the workout equipment and the full workout facility that I have at the other house. I guess I didn't realize that workout equipment and weight plates and all of that are so hard to find right now. I realized real quick though, because there was people that's like, I'll pay you extra if you tell the other person that's you're pending pickup on, you know, tell them that, you know, it was already, you know, sold and that you misunderstood. No, I don't play games. I don't do that. But it made me realize that I guess now is the time to go get a bunch of that stuff from the other house and get it sold. And so that's what I did. Besides Christmas stuff, that's what the entire weekend was. And it was pretty fun, really. And beneficial, needed. We helped a lot of people out with good workout equipment. And so now I'm like, I want to record, I want to bead. I have these ideas and these thoughts and these designs, and I still haven't gotten them out to you guys. So, you know. We also had a Christmas, one of the Christmas get-togethers we had on Saturday, and that was awesome. It was for Steve's family. This side is a little smaller, it appears, so let's go the other route, the other way. And then tonight we will have another Christmas with kiddos. And then I go back to work tomorrow. So lots going on. Pretty darn busy, but busy in a good way. Things are getting done. Got some shopping done, some Christmas shopping that needed to be done. Ended up staying up late Saturday night with some friends on a video chat, some beading friends on a video chat. That was just so much fun. Made me realize how much I actually want to do some lives. I'll be doing a live on December 27th with my friend Kimberly Hayes and Miss Maisha with Blue Sapphire Designs. But I've also been wanting to do a live with you guys, you know. It's been a long time since I've done a live, and I'd want to do it with you guys before, you know, I'm doing it for somebody else, you know. And so keep your ears out and your eyes out, because I'm going to be doing that soon. Surely it will be, beading and having a good time, but primarily, at the beginning at least, it's going to be just to see you guys, just to talk to you guys. I miss that connection I felt with you all. That part I just really loved. And that part as well I miss. So, soon. This comes back together pretty quick. I really like pulling these these double strands to single strands together, and you have so many options, right? You have so many options, and it's just fun. Fun stuff. Okay, so now we're just going into that hematite so we can do some more pearls. And this one here, I cut these 2 strands to 15 inches, okay? So these 2 strands are 15 inches. My chain is 12 inches. And then for my inner strand, that's going to be cut to 10 inches. Okay, so maybe make note of that if you're wanting to redo this, if you're wanting to create this. I didn't want it to be too long, right? But I wanted it to have a little bit of depth. And I'm looking for these to be like right at or above my collarbone area. That's my favorite. And I think it's also pretty typical, right? Go. Okay. Back into hematite. This year, Christmas morning, it's going to be fun. I remember when we were little kids, when I was a little kid, my granny and my grandpa would come over Christmas morning, come over early Christmas morning, and I guess my parents would let them know, as soon as we were all woke up, and then we would go through stockings while we waited for Granny and Grandpa to get there, and then they would watch us open presents. It was always fun to have them there, and starting this year, I get to go to my son's house Christmas morning. Steve and I will go to my son's house Christmas morning, and we get to be there as my granddaughters open their gifts Christmas morning. And I'm so excited. It's just kind of crazy. It's a really cool thing. It's a really cool thing to think of that, full circle. Thinking of me being young and my granny and grandpa coming over while we opened gifts. And then, of course, when my kids were young, my mom and dad didn't come over, none of that. It was just nice time for us. And so we didn't do that specifically or anything, but I think it's just super cool that I get to see them open their gifts on Christmas morning and get to be part of that. It's such a big deal. So that will be Christmas morning for us. I wonder though, have you guys heard of that? Is that something you guys have ever done, or someone in your family had done? to where somebody else comes over Christmas morning as well, like grandparents, to kind of be there as the kids celebrate Santa coming and all the goodies that were brought and all of that. There we go. Put one more in there. I'm kind of cinching these down as I go, just because it's going to be difficult to do later, right? Because there's these 2-to-1s that's happening, and it's, there we go. It's going to be a little more difficult to like slide them down, so we want to probably make sure that we are keeping them as tight as and as snug as we're wanting them as we're going through each of the sections. I was able to get on that companion bundle. Ooh, I got the companion bundle, some of the box extras, and I'm so excited, it's ridiculous. I opted in for priority shipping. Is that crumb tube going to give me issues? I may go ahead and take that out. I don't want that to be an issue later. Yeah, he's pretty big. He's a bigger one. See that one? Let's go ahead and redo that part. But I opted for priority also because it's just ridiculous. Kansas City Distribution Center. And, you know, I was talking to Kim Hayes, and she's just about like 45-minute drive from me. And she said the same thing happens to her. You know, it's not that Kansas City, Missouri Distribution Center doesn't like me. Even though it feels like it. It feels quite personal. It's just insane, though. I mean, those delays are definitely not on Lauren and Bargain Bead Box or Bead Box Bargains. It is the post office, and this time of year anyways, you know, you're expecting some delays, but I had delays before the holiday season, so I want it. Gimme. Really was, though, the coolest companion bundle I think I've ever seen. So good. Oh, you guys, I'm gonna be taking you guys through, I got a Christmas gift. I had a box delivered, and it was a big box, and it is from my friend Angela Ia. And she is currently in Chile with her family over Christmas. And so, you know, I've been missing her anyways. Really missing her. We talk every day, definitely every day. And I was just crazy whenever I received that. Well, I finally this morning dug into it. I thought, you know, do I wait till Christmas? You know, what should I do? And I was like, I can't wait. There's no waiting. No. And so dug into it, and the goodies. The goodies. I was, you know, going through it, and then I looked up and realized that Steve was recording me with my phone. So the majority of it's recorded. And I was looking a mess. I mean, I was looking a mess, but whatever. She is so thoughtful. I mean, such a great friend anyways, but then so giving and thoughtful, and precious. And Jasper got some presents and he was so excited. He was going crazy for his presents whole time, and it was just really fun. It was super cool, and I definitely want to share with you guys. You have to see some of these goodies that I got. Oh my. I am blessed. Very, very blessed. I felt like a kid again on Christmas, you know? It's been so fun doing this advent calendar every day, right? I mean, this advent calendar is just phenomenal. Every single morning I get surprises, and it just starts my day off so well. And then to also have like a big Christmas present. Crazy. Crazy cool. Crazy cool. Amazing beads. Oh my gosh, all the super duos. She got me a ton of super duos. So be looking out, my friends. We're going to be doing definitely some projects with super duos. And this jewelry box that she gave me, she made the flowers that are on top of this jewelry box. Beaded flowers that are incredible. Like incredible. Unbelievable. So anyways, I can't wait to share with you guys. I can't wait for you guys to see. Okay, how are we looking here? Looky there. So if this was to come, and if I just did one other one, that length would be right about the same here. Let me see what I think there. Actually, I think that's what I want to do. I don't think I'm going to do the two. I think I'm going to do the one. At least that's what we'll start with. Okay, and then I won't cinch it down. I'm not going to get this done until I get both of the other strands taken care of. That way I can ensure I have proper length that I'm looking for, right? But I think I'm only going to do one more of these, you know, and then just that little series, and then see where we are from there, because I can always add. I can also take away, but I'm liking the thought of one of these being the center. I'm really liking that thought. Okay, so let's put one of these on both strands, and then we'll be in this last portion of this series here. Okay, let's pull on one of those beautiful peaches. Look at those flecks that go through that. Just beautiful. Okay, so we'll pop on one of those, get a little crimp in the middle. We'll pop on one of our green garnet. Put this guy on the other side. This is a fun little process. Woohoo. There it goes. Okay, so all I'm going to do from here is I'm just going to do the 2 on one side. I'm just going to do this here, and then I'm going to stop. Okay, then we'll go into talking about those other strands and then see kind of what we're looking at, what we're looking to do. So I'll go ahead and pop on that sunstone with a crimp tube in the middle of it and our green garnet. Pop on one of these bright corals, and I'll go ahead and put one of those crimp tubes on both strands up at the top. Okay, all right, so let's move some of this stuff out of the way just so we can get our eyeballs on it all and see what we're looking for. And bring those up. Okay. So this is what we're looking like. This is so pretty. So here, go through it. And that hematite with our beautiful pearls. Then right back in. Beautiful. Beautiful. Gives a lot of texture and dimension and coolness factor to that bottom strand. So here's what we'd be looking at from here. That would be that outside strand. Right? Ooh. Okay, so here's what I'm looking to do for the next strand. For this next one that goes here, we're going to use chain. Okay, this chain is cut to 12, and actually that's going to make a difference as well. So let me see if I stopped here, how long this would be, right? Because I cut this to 15, but obviously we haven't used it all. So actually this is at 12 right now. So, we would need to cut this down if that's the case. Okay, let me check this again. Let me see where this would be. Actually, yeah, we're gonna cut this down. I don't want this to go any longer, I don't think. Okay, so then this one, hang tight. Yeah, so then this one, I'm going to take off right about an inch. Okay, and so come here, and I'll just eyeball it. Okay, we'll set that aside. And then what I'm first wanting to do is I'm wanting to find the middle of this. Okay, so then from here, if we end up cutting any off of this to make it shorter, we need to cut from both sides because we're going to start beading on it. So easiest way to find the middle for this is I'm going to get a piece of wire. And on this, if I don't have a center guy, see, I don't have one that's the center guy. I'm going to cut off one of these links. That way I make sure I have it uneven so that there is a center link. Okay, so that's important for this if you're looking for something to be in the center. And on this, even though it's not going to be significant, there is going to be a center needed. Okay, so now I know this one is the center of those two strands. Okay, so I'm going to leave that in there, okay? That way I know I've got center here with this one that I've left. And with this center, I brought out 5 of these, okay? These little charms that came in the box this month. I'm wanting to make sure that I have a crimp tube on either side. Okay, so I'm going to squish this down real good, get it good and closed. Make sure that crimp tube goes over, because I want this to dangle from the center, and we're going to have 5 of these. Okay, so this is going to be the center one. Okay, I have a crimp tube on each side. So now I'm going to open it back up. And it's going to replace this little wire. Oh, I see it, I see it, I see it. Hold on. And I just popped that off. Okay, no worries, no worries. Here we go. It happens. Okay, this guy is what it needs to pop onto. Okay, so I'm going to grab back hold of this. Okay, I'm going to pop my charm back on. Oh, Amy. You see him spinning. My charm, and I'm going to come up underneath and get that crimp tube on the other side. Okay, so I'm back to where I was. I have this guy sticking out. He's my center, and I'm going to pop this on. There he goes. So now I have one of those little crimps on each side of that, so I know they're going to stay on those sides. Get this closed up. Now I know where my center is. Okay, so here's what I'm looking to do. Get this over here and here. Okay, so I'm wanting to have these come in like so, these come in like so, to where they're sort of towards the center, right? Close towards the center. And then what I did was I took a 4mm, these are 4mm jump rings, a 4mm jump ring in that light rose gold. Okay, so I have that, and popped onto it 2 of the little 3mm bronze daisy spacers, and then I have little seed beads that are pretty much that same color. Okay, and I want those to just dangle there in between these guys, and then let's make one of those together. Okay, so just a little something on that second row, on that second level, just to pop in those bright coral colors before our third strand comes into play. Okay, and then we'll make this other one, and then we'll see kind of how we want to vary that so that they're even on both sides. Okay, so let's come in here, and I'm going to grab this little jump ring, pop it open. Okay, and then I'm going to put on one of the daisy spacers, grab up that little seed bead and a daisy spacer. Okay, and it looks to me that it would probably be, let's see, so from this one to this one, just by, in general, I have a little kitty cat hair on me that keeps sticking, from here and here, in general, right, about an inch. Okay, right about an inch. There's that little kitty cat hair, I tell you. Right about an inch, I'd say. So the number of links is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's do 11 so that I have a center here. So then on this center, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to put 5 up. So on that fifth one, and then 4 from this, I'll put the other. Okay, so on the fifth. So 1, that one's the one that's on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pop it on this little number 5. Okay, so that's going to be our center guy here. Then we'll get that closed up. And actually, hold on. How do I want to do that? Nope, I want those all to be forefront. I want it all to be forefront. Oh, Amy. Hang tight. You see, you have to grab it properly. If you want it to work out, you need to grab it properly. Okay, so let's do that again. Okay, so we'll do that little daisy spacer, seed bead, and a daisy spacer, because I want all of that pop to be right there out front. Right. So then we'll grab this down. We'll count it up. So on that one, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's my 5th. That's a little more like it. Make sure we're closed all the way real good. So you see, that's what we're looking at. Just cute. Cute. So it's just kind of sitting there. So then from here, I'm gonna move all these aside now that I know what I want to do. Okay, so let's come in with this next one. And I want to make sure I have the crimp tube on each side. And pop him open. Okay, and then that one that it's on, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Oh, wait. There it is. So 1, 2, 3, 4. It's put on the 5th one. So 4 open. Okay. So then here, 1, 2, 3, 4. Pop it here on this 5th one. Okay, close it really well. Okay, we'll grab one of these guys. Let's do one this way, right? Where it's on each side. Let's see if it looks different. Okay. So here's where that one's at. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's my 5th one. Yeah, it's the same. Make sure it's good and closed. Isn't that cute? Just the little pops. I like it. So one more of these. So we'll come back in here. We'll open this up. Grab that opening. There it is. Opening this up, making sure that that crimp tube's on either side. Okay. See where this guy is. 1, 2, 3, 4. This one's our 5th. Oh, don't lose it. There we go. Okay. we're just going to do that other side. So let's come in with one of these. Open him up. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's our 5th. Woohoo. Let me re-verify. Which one's it on? That one. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the 5th. There we go. Oops. Lost a crimp tube. Easy peasy. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. That is number 5. This one says, nope, I don't want to play. Okay. How many times can we count to 5 in one tutorial? All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Got her. And then just one more. Okay. Oh, I think that would just be super cute. Just so super cute. And not overdone, right? Not overstated, not overdone. Okay. So that one, there you go. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's our number 5. Okay, that's all there is to this strand. Now, I'm not going to yet put on the jump rings to the end of these because we don't know if we're going to need to trim a little bit of them off yet. Okay, I'm going to again wait, kind of like I'm waiting to close these off. I'm going to wait to do that here until we get that other strand, that third strand completed. But let's take a quick peek here. Okay, so this is on here. This is our second strand, and this is our bottom strand. I want it to be kind of close, but not right on top of each other, right? Yeah, I think we're going to end up trimming that other one a little bit, but you see, pretty. Okay, all right. So here's what I'm looking for on the inside strand. On that inside strand, I have went ahead, I've done some of it, okay? I've done some of it because I knew for timing and because it's kind of the same method as this. Not identical, but it's kind of the same method, okay? So one sec. This is where we're at. So what I'm doing with this one is I'm bringing in some of our little crystals that we got, our crystal rondelles that we got in the box. Okay, so we're doing crystal rondelle, and that double bead cap scenario is going to be the 4mm of the KC gold and 3mm of the bronze. Crimp tube on both strands. Then I'm bringing in my little guys, my little crystals that I brought out, right? So there's 2mm, 3mm of that bright coral, and 2mm, or actually they're all 3mm, my apologies, 3, 3, 3. On the other strand, it is that very light pink. So again, I'm trying to bring in the different shades. So that very light pink 2mm with the green, and then a crimp tube. And then I'm doing the same that we have in here, right? So, but what this is going to be is the green garnet, one of our little crystal rondelles that we have with a 4mm gold bead cap, and then the garnet, and then I'm doing a crimp tube on each side of that bright coral just to make it pop, okay? And then right back into that same series. And so that's what this strand is going to be. And I think it's going to be just enough pop, but not overdo or kind of overtake that bottom focal strand. Okay, but it pulls everything together, and I think it's just fun. I think it's fun. So where I'm leaving off in that is here I have, the garnet with the crystal, the pop of the coral, garnet with crystal, and then I separate those strands. Okay, so then here I'm going to do the garnet with crystal. Okay, so I have the garnet on there. I'm going to bring in the bead caps. I'm going to go ahead and bring down some of our little crystals because we're going to want to check that length because it's going to be a little bit shorter than I was originally intending. Okay, so let's go ahead and bring those in. So, and actually, yeah. So from here, I have that green garnet. I'm going to do a bead cap on both of those strands. Okay, I'm going to bring in I need to bring them out. Okay, so here in the middle, it's the champagne. It's just the end one that has that double pop, right? And it's that more white color that came in there, that creamy ivory white. So we're going to do that little champagne colored rondelle with another bead cap on. I'm going to do my green garnet on the other side. Both strands. Okay, then I'm going to come in here with number 1 crimp, our bright coral that came in the box, and number 1 crimp on the other side. Okay, another green garnet. One of our bead capped crystal rondelles, that's that champagne color. Okay, and then another green garnet. Okay, so let's put on a crimp on both of those strands. Then we're going to separate those strands. Okay, so on one of those strands, I'm going to do one of our little champagne colored rondelles in the 3mm with one of our 3mm bright coral and a champagne rondelle. On the other strand, we're going to bring in that little baby rosaline color. So this is like a rosaline color that we have going on here. So we're going to do that rosaline with our 3mm green crystal and another little rosaline. Okay, and that's how those two strands are separating out, like so. We'll do that crimp tube on both of those strands. Then we'll come right back into green garnet, bead cap with the champagne crystal rondelle, and green garnet, woo-wee. There we go. Then we'll do a little crimp tube, coral, and a crimp. Green garnet. Oh, looky. Missing bead cap. That one has a pretty small hole. There we go. And then we'll come back in with that crimp, coral, crimp, and then the green garnet, bead cap, and our green garnet. Okay, so we'll go ahead and do a crimp, we will separate those strands, and this will be the last time. Okay, then we're going to do that champagne, that coral and champagne, and then on this other strand we're going to do that little rosaline with the green and rosaline. Okay, so we'll put that other, do a crimp tube on both, and then for this final crystal rondelle, it's going to be that white. Okay, so we'll grab a white one out, or the ivory. Okay, the ivory, and it's going to be double bead capped. So we're going to double bead cap this one, and we'll see what we're looking at. Okay, so we'll do that bronze, and then the 4mm Casey gold. We'll pop on our little ivory bead. $4mm, bronze, and then we'll end it with a crimp tube on both strands. Okay, so let's take off this bead bug and make sure we put a crimp tube on both strands on this side. And this is what we're looking at for our inner strand. Now let's get this stuff out of the way here real quick, and then let's take a peek at these links, and then we can get them closed up, and then we can oogle over it and be excited about it, and then we can do a pair of earrings. Okay. Bead caps out of the way. There we go. There we go. Here's our inside strand. Let's move these. This is where we'd be setting-ish, right? So then let's bring in that second strand. Okay. So if that second one would be coming into play right about here, let's just say, because we would have a little jump ring. I'll do 4mm jump rings. And then if this one comes in, where would our length be? Right? And no. See, that's a little bit close. That's a little bit close. So let's go ahead then and let's add to this. Let's just go ahead and add to this because I'm liking how this length is going on here. Okay, so let's bring these up. I think these two are good. Okay, because I'm liking that spacing that's between these two. And I'm going to add just a little bit here, right? So what we would want to add here is probably, we're going with, what's next with this? It would be our hematite with our pearls. Okay, so let me grab out a little more of those. So we'll do 4 of those hematite. And then that would be 1, 2, 3, 4 pearls. And then we need a couple bead caps. And I think that'll do it. I think that's what we're looking for. And this is so fun. I'm really excited about this. Okay. Pop that one on. And then let's get a little crimp tube action happening. So we'll do the crimp. Our little pearl and a crimp. And then the same on the other. So crimp, pearl, crimp. Okay, we'll bring these together and do another hematite. Another bead cap. Make sure I'm bringing that down. Then I'm going to go ahead and put a crimp on both strands on this side. Okay, so that gives us a little more room here, as well as what we're about to do here. So then get that bead cap, hematite, make sure you can see, and a bead cap. This side we're going to be pretty tight now. I thought I was doing good with that. Okay, so crimp tube, pearl, crimp, and on this side as well, crimp, pearl, woohoo, ah, crimp, oof, 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 4mm, hematite, we need that little baby crimp tube sitting on top. And that is going to be snug, snug, snug. Can we do it? Yes, we can do it. Surely so. But oof, as you see, there's not much room. Oh boy, oh boy. So I may try to go up. So no matter how well I thought I did, yeah, because this is going to be really tough. Let me try to do it. Let me try to go ahead and close off this end and see if I can get that knocked out. Okay, so I have my clamshell and my crimp tube here to close that up. Let me open that clamshell a little extra just because I'm going to need as much grace as I can get. Okay, and then I'll hold on to both of those strands here with my pliers. Okay, let me move it. Okay, have them both in there. Let's get our crimp tube, our number 2 crimp tube, because we're crimping now, down in there. Yeah, I'll be able to do it. By the hair of my chinny chin chin, right? Okay. Swap hands just so I can keep a hold of that. Let's come in here and we'll go ahead and get this crimp down. Okay. Trim off that excess. Yes, there's excess. Look. little bit. Oh. But I did it. Okay. So let's make sure we're good here. We're good on our spacing. We're good on our placement. Okay. Go ahead and close up this other side. So grab that other clamshell. Bring it all the way down. tube from up top because these are my good Bead-A-Lon crimp tubes. Not the same crimp tubes that I'm using to stuff that bead. No, no, no. Not the same. Let me open that up a little more. Down in here, crimp him off real well. You want to make sure these strands are side by side in there and not on top of each other. That way you're going to get a more secure crimp. Okay, so we'll trim that off. Woo. Start that process of closing, and we'll finish it. And this is that primary focal strand. So pretty, so pretty. So pretty, so pretty. Good stuff. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. All right, so now let's see where we'd be sitting. And yeah, looky there. That's what we're looking at. That's what we're looking at. All right, so real quick, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to close this up. I'm going to get jump rings on all of these. Let's come back and then we'll get that done. Okay, I'll be right back. So what I've went ahead and done is I cinched these off and I went ahead and included or connected those, the bottom and the top strand. Okay, now let's go ahead and connect this chain and then we'll come up the back and finish this out. I'm really excited about it. So let's bring these guys in and let's bring this to the side. Love. Get this opened up. Open this one. I think this is just beautiful. I love those pops of that bright coral color. I think it is gorgeous. Now what I want to make sure is when I'm holding on to my center one, that's not my center one, that this is kind of laying the way it wants to be. Okay, so now grab this end. We'll get it connected in the center here. Okay. And I do it that way. I end up doing that because I don't want this to be so completely twisted that it's going to not lay proper, right? Because we have those dangles on them. And so I want to make sure that it's kind of the way it wants to go anyhow. So let's grab that other side. Pop him on. This is beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, so I went ahead and cut my chain. Okay, I'm just going to verify again where this is laying and how it's laying. Okay, and what I'm looking for is, oh, so sorry. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. What I'm looking for is for this to be like at the high point of my collarbone, right? And so I think I'm good on my chain. So I went ahead and cut 2 lengths of chain. We're going to connect those, and I'm going to use this spring ring clasp here for the clasp, and we'll be good. We'll be good. So let's move this down some. Just loving this. So let's bring in some of our 4mm jump rings. Then I have a 6mm jump ring for that to connect to. And if I need to get something out that's bigger than that, I can totally do it. I have some other options, but I think a 6mm will be all right. Okay, let's just get that connected with our chain here. Very good. Knock out this other side. Just a smidge. There we go. Okay. Now, on this connection, let's see, this has got to be on this side. So then this will have our loop. So let's first make sure that whenever we slide this on, yeah, that should be good. No problem. Okay. There's that. And then over on this side, actually, what am I doing? What am I doing? Oh, I can use him. Psh. Yes, yes, I'm silly. There we go. Okay, and then on this side, we'll get him connected. And this is just going to be beautiful. I am just super excited about this piece. Beautiful. Super cute. Just super cute. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. So let's kind of go through this here. Spread it out a little bit more so that we can see it and how it's going to flow. Oh, goodness. Can't wait to put that on the bust and see how beautifully that lays. Love that. Love it. Okay, earrings. So for our earrings, first, this is our finished earring. Has those same little pops in it. Look. So pretty, right? So pretty. I'm loving it. And so what I've done here is this center with one of our sides. So if we're looking here, this is a piece of chain that's halved almost halved, right? So I have a little jump ring here, and I have two pieces of the, 2 pieces with the connection here, and then coming down to our main focal, from there I have the 3 that it's connected to, and I have that direct connection on each side of that. So first on this side, see I have that connected with a little bitty jump ring. And then on this side, just to make up that difference, right, I added 2 pieces of our chain link, 2 jump ring, these are 3mm jump rings. Then I have that other side. And then we'll also talk about how we're making this connection up here up top. Okay, so here is that. Okay, so what I've done so far is I went ahead and made up those dangles. I have all those dangles that's made up. Same dangles as the other one. Well, let's hope they're the same dangles as the other one. Amy. Oi. Okay, so I have all of these ready, and they're here. What I've connected is here I have that same connection. Okay, and so I have these 3 on one side and then the 2 on the other side. Okay, when I connected it with that jump ring, I just added a crimp tube to it. And then what we're doing on the top is up here, I took one of our little coral beads, popped that on here so that way it wouldn't like come all the way through, and I went through this little link. Okay, when I go through this link, I'm just going to pop it up the back. And when I pop it up the back, you see how it's hanging now like this? On the back of that, I'm going to do that series of just a crimp tube, one of our little pearls, and a crimp tube. And then from here, we're going to do a little wrapped loop. So let's pop that on. I want that wrap loop going this way. Just going to hold on to that loop real well. We're just going to give it a few wraps. Come back here. Bead mats going everywhere. Come back here. Give it a little trim. Move this out of the way here. Give it our little trim. Make sure we don't have anything poking. Okay, so there's that. And for a connection, when I come in here with my ear wire, I'm going to pop that open. I'm going to grab one of our little crimp tubes. I'm going to pop it on there, and then I'm going to pop on our dangle. Okay, so now we know we're good with this part. Okay, so here we are here with that part of the earring for our little dangles. Let's move this stuff a little bit. Looks like I had a little extra pearl there. Okay, from here, the one that's going to be hanging down the most is that one. Okay, and with that one, I connected it direct, and then I thought, here, hold on just one sec. I thought yeah, it's connected, and then there's 3 coming down. All right, I thought so. And this one, I just want to make sure I'm the same. It's connected. And then there's 3 coming down. Very, very good. And then I connected it directly. So these links do open. And on some of them, I want that, and on others, I just want to jump ring them. Okay, so for this one, I'm going to open that link just a little bit. I'm going to pop the one on that has our green garnet at the bottom. Make sure that's nice and closed. Oh, it is. I can see it. Okay. So we have that one. Now, on this other one, here I have it connected and 2 coming down. Let me make sure it's the same. I have it connected. See, no, I had it connected. And 1 coming down and then a jump ring. See? Okay, so let's do that. Let's pop off one of those. We'll jump ring this one. They're probably about the same, you know, 3mm jump ring and one of those little links, but we're still going to put that on there. So let's get a jump ring. And then if it's still laying a little bit high or something, we can always add a little jump ring. We'll see. Okay, so we're going to pop on one of our pearls. Take that pearl, pop it on that chain link. Hold on. Oh. He does not want to hang down right now. There he is. Why? There. Hoy. Okay. So we have him hanging like so. Okay. So then, make sure he's popped on there. He is. So then for the next one, we're up here, and he is just going to be jump ringed directly to that primary ring of the link. So we'll come up here to the other side, grab one of these, connect it to the link on the one side. Okay. Now on the other side, I wanted to bring in one of our little pieces of chain, and then we'll make that connection. This is going to be for the other pearl link, that pearl dangle. Come over on this side. Okay, so now we have that hanging down there. Grab our other jump ring. We will connect our pearl. Woohoo. Oh. There we go. And all we need to do from here is jump ring and make the direct connection with that last little, yeah, so cute, with that last little side, that last little dangle. Okay, so it's going to go on the far side. You want to make sure you get it on the side of all of those. There we go. That's all that she wrote. That's all there is to it. Super, super cute. Oh, I just love it. Love those pops. Love those pops. And I love this set. And I love this box. And I can't wait to get my companion bundle. So cute. My friends, I am so happy that you're here with me. I'm so happy that I got this done. Like I said, I wanted to do this over the weekend, but it's super good and important what was done this weekend. That's for sure. That's for sure. But I love this set. I love this set. I can't wait to hang it up on the bust and show you guys those pictures. And stay tuned. I'll have another tutorial out today. And until then, just for now, just for a little bit, bye.